people's attitude towards money, towards prosperity. You told a great story about going out to dinner once I'm going to let you retell it, but all of this came from the idea of like people hating money and hating rich people, but also wanting to have money and wanting to be rich. And the problem with that, the inherent contradiction with saying that I hate capitalism and it's all bad and and anyone that's made any money sucks. But at the same time, they're going, I want more money. And then they don't know why they're not making it.
Yeah, I think people equate the elite, which I don't like to call them the elite, the parasite class, with people who have made it. There's a big difference between like old money and new money. People who have made it have just figured out that money is energy. They might not think of it that way, but it is an energy, and you can tune into the energy and then it'll just fall out of the sky for you. You'll know exactly how to link up with it. So I'm white, so I do have some advantages, but I was raised poor. My mom was an addict. I grew up in a trailer. My first little bit with her, there were ants in my cereal. I had to pour milk in and let them float to the top. And
now you pay $25 for ants in your cereal on Melrose. In LA, now it's like big money. They got bugs are hot now. Keep going.
And poverty mentality. Like my dad was okay, like middle class construction worker, whatever, but they were still like so much poverty mentality pumped into me as a kid. So I got married when I was a teenager and didn't understand money, was terrified of money. So it never came easy to me. And
interesting. Now, so terrified of, why were you terrified of money? That's an interesting thing to unpack.
So the conspiracy theorist in me believes that there are maybe reptilians that did this on purpose. But most people are programmed to believe that life is about survival. And that's it. They're just trying to survive. And they're kind of taught that everything is scarier and more difficult. It's like if you raise an entire part of the population to believe that they're going to fall through the floor at any second, they're going to approach life completely different than people who know that the floor is solid. And that's kind of what being raised poor around that. Every single thing is a fucking struggle. And there are things that just don't make sense by math, period. I know people who, when I was waiting tables, they wait tables at a diner. And they're like, well, when I get more money. And I'm like, how are you going to get more money? And they're like, and I'm like, go wait tables somewhere where there's more money. You know what I mean? But they just nobody ever taught them. And I think it's strange, the bullshit they teach in school. Why aren't we teaching anybody how money works? That seems strategic. Nobody understands how taxes work. That blows my mind. You don't even understand how the tax law works. But so there is this it's such an abstract concept, and all they're taught is that it's hard and you're never going to get it and you have to work really hard, which is weird to me because it feels like, I don't know, they're worker bees. They're just programmed to be worker bees. All the virtues are just worker bee virtues, like staying at things for a long time, like waiting out relationships for a long time. So you just have this class of people who it's just scary. They don't understand it. They know it's just hard. And so it was like that for me. And in 2008, I understood that I was creating my reality. And I was like, okay, I think in order to be rich, I have to figure out what rich people do. This is the premise of 12-step recovery, is find someone who has what you want and do what they did.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's exactly right.
I read books from self-made rich people, which I don't, I skim books. And
that's why Ben found me, because I'm just such an example of peace and tranquility and love and happiness.
What did you want, Ben? Anger?
Yeah, he wanted rage. He's like, I got to find somebody that has what I want. Then what do you want? A stroke by 40? We got one.